5 games. 2 more on Miramar before we move to Erangel. We're going to head to Game 2 of the final day of the PUBG Continental Series EU. And those with the call on the map ready to tell you about what's happening are none other than The Sims and Pansy.
Thanks, buddy. And yeah, I think they've set it up perfectly. Who we need to be looking at this game, who is the ones that can shake things up here, is going to be a lot of teams chasing. And as said, you know, with Blaze and AA having some good games, I think we all highlighted it yesterday, especially, you know, if you're Raise Your Edge, if you're any of these teams, you're going to start getting a little nervous, right? Because you're sat here just watching this, or maybe not, and maybe you just can't bear to watch because your tournament life is very much on the line. And if the teams just below you start to pick up some better performances, it's going to get real toasty. We've got to still look towards that TSM Unity issue that was happening prior, if that might be another problem. Vard seems to be right amongst it, and I don't see Iro in this lobby yet. I don't know if he maybe had an issue there and he's dropped late, potentially. Hopefully for them, that's something they can fix up. I don't know if he's maybe had a crash or something, but he's definitely not in a normal position. It looks like he's kind of dropped out at the end of the line.
You know the East will be busy. So a lot of them will just take what they've given, right? Any kind of land grab that they can kind of get, they'll just happily accept it. Ira is back with us and alive and kicking. QBE falls, instant death and a flush. Unity, this would be a nice fight to take, given the fact that they have Omicron on their backside. Whether or not they know that is a different question altogether. But, you know, it's still a compound. It's still a... Okay. Iruzen rips off Jempty's face instantly. Goes for the quick peek. Jump. Finds him. Comes over as well, but there's a response. Dynamon, background. Vasku, what else have you got? Where do you know these players are going to be? This is a push straight on to Unity. Take this out. You can then move on to the next problem, which will be Besiktas. Looks away all but a second, but it doesn't matter. Grenade's trying to be put down. We'll stem him. I said Besiktas are going to be the next issue. They're already getting involved again. Third party, and they were doing it as the previous game. And it's paying off again. And Circle is good for them. Carl and CTR now can pull back to Metaby and Co. Set up with Lyra and defend the compound that they have deeper inside the circle. Disconnect from this fight. There's no real reason to take it. Just let Unity and Omicron happily beat the living hell out of one another.
All set. There's no way you expect that angle. Goes back in for a second. Vasku says no. That's a flush. Wiki Bookie's joining in towards TQ. And Orange cleaning house. Nice work there. Good tag as well.
Last man standing, really. What can you put up against this? We have seen 1 versus 4s happen in previous games, previous events. We saw one from PEL on the screen the other day with, go on. Oh, God, I can't remember his name. Versus, it might have been Ents at the time.
Sorry, I just sneezed. I had to take a second.
No, you're fine, you're fine. I'm just, there's no point in kind of screaming and carrying on. I'm seeing how he approaches it. The nade won't pay off. He can put the smokes down and maybe heal within it. It also gives him somewhere to hide. If that's a bait smoke on the opposing side, that'll be fantastic. Oh, no, that was nice. Good effort from Omicron to put a hole in the door first and then look through it. Nice little reply, though, to get the instant dink and the knock. Slows them down, but, you know, I'd assume that they can just carry on as normal, given they are inside the circle. That is a beneficial factor. TSM is looking for an entry point onto this. Lazar will have a decent window on his right-hand side, so it's something that he needs to be very careful of. Vex is also here, out of the car simultaneously. They turn up and simultaneously they will fall. How many more do they want to commit to this push? Probably turn away and face the music at a different angle, to be honest. It's not going to work this time.
Nabbed away, and here comes the engage from Northern Lights. Already Spyro going to show his hand, but I don't think they know about Perfectix. This could be a beautiful off angle he's going to get, but BSD going to just destroy everything Northern Lights was building. Suddenly their cover is blown and the position is noted. Spyro, where do you go here? You got players left, right, and center. Batulin's way out in the blue, but trying to do what he can, but oh, that tag is a disaster. He's down. This is just nasty from either side. Trades coming back in between these two, and I don't think anyone walks out cleanly from this.
Nah, none of these teams do it all just fighting from this angle, right? you're just going to go for as many frags as possible, right? Get the heal off and then go again. Perfectix can just kind of be the sniffer dog and feed as much information back to the boys in the blue. Not the boys in blue as such, quite literally. Double A, where's their position? I'm trying to peek in all of this, but we'll hold for a second. Resolution has an eye line. Straight on to Ends, who've turned up to the party. Okay, boys, let's get going then. See what you're made of. This will be a big fight to carry on. For some reason, Dream for You and Jekyll have just gone down to their own grenades. Unless they were holding them, they were shot at the wrong time. That is just... I don't know. I don't know. This is chaos. Everything's just going wild at the moment. Resolution's always kicked back to the Rustam map for the flush. They were trying to save that with Ends, but it comes down to Tixu and Squeaky to hold the line. You need this fight. You need these frags. And you need to stay in the game. This would be just catastrophic for Ends to go out. Good reply, good response. They can stay alive for now. And when I say for now, that's because all of a sudden you look on the opposing side, they've been spotted. Mome and Co. They have them dead to rights. If this circle's not favorable to them, they're just going to run into their arms.
Look at this horrible standoff between these two. Neither of them obviously want to fall to each other, and they're just like healing in the blue. And for Clib, he's out of meds and out of time. Time to go down. Deep doesn't claim it, but it doesn't really matter. After all, be going down as well is a bit of a problem. They were one of the teams on the chase, up to 98 points. Blaze still alive with 2 there on 99. They're the next ones to keep your eyes on. This could be a good game for them. Ents with 2 remaining. You said they could do with a good game here. And Na'Vi still with 4. Liquid being encroached upon by the Wildcats. 3 players for the Wildcats, but she created quite isolated, it looks like. And Liquid seem none the wiser. Holding the ridgeline, they're going to be surprised pretty soon. That looks like a freebie, but no patience shown here. Trying to get that full image. BSD, you could just see him coming into the mini-map there. So Liquid's attention being drawn anywhere but what's on the foothill. Oh, now you take the shot. Oh, it's not clean at all, and it's a mistake. It's a mistake every day of the week. Forced to fight, and it's not the fight to be having. Jeem's going to put him down instantly. BSD can't trade back in either. This is an error to be had in Jempty falling for Omicron. Don't see a flush, though. Besiktas good positioning. Omicron trying to make the run to join up potentially with Page here down on the southern side, being kept safe by that hill. At least from Liquid for now, as they make... Oh, Vazku spun out. Trying to control the spin. What can you do with this one? Might need to just back it away, but Page has been lost as Ibby just found him. And for Liquid, I guess they now put a lot more attention to that low side of the hill. Vazku just about backing it in and using the car for cover. Makes it towards the compound. Well played. Yes, losing 1 is a bit unfortunate, but for them, 3 alive. Good enough position. They'll work with that.
Makes some noise, then gets out again to see if they're taking a quick peek up the hill. Red line, onto Blaze. They're inside the buildings. Nades in. That could be good. Keep an eye on Lipsim. He's out the back. They've pre-naded it up as well, so the bike could take the full force of that one and maybe even do some damage towards him. Thank God you moved away, otherwise that would have crushed you to death. Michael's nade, at least, is extremely damaging and punishing. They need to get the guy upstairs first, which is what I think his teammates are more than focused on. Ivers will just hold this one dead to right, so he can't move or play a factor within this. They're still committing utility to inside the building and not realizing he's outside, so at the moment it will be a waste. It will just hold him back. Carl, onto Jempty. Looks like Omicron sent it by, and they've been shot from the foothills. Jempty, I think, is in a non-revivable position, if memory serves me correctly, if we're thinking as to where Carl would have had the line of sight. Marv mollies up, but that's a cheeky kill backwards, so at least they can answer it. Now they go up for the flood. They do need to get the revive onto the fallen comrade, but this is where Libsyn could play a factor. Carl also responded by Omicron. Vasco sees him. BSD gets taken down. Circle shifts, and it moves further away from all these fights that are happening currently on your screen. Every single person every single team that has been involved in a fight for the last 2 minutes has all the work to do. Big amount of ground to cover, and a lot of players still looking to take them down while they're doing so.
Libsyn having to watch his teammates fall. There's not much more really to be done. You can see how pinned in he is, and it's going to be a matter of time. I'm kind of considering Omicron in this as well. They've lost out on a lot of players in the last couple of minutes too. Obviously having to do that bit of ascend. Northern Lights being extinguished by Tab. Na'Vi still with 4. This could be a good end game for them if they can stay cool under pressure. Libsyn trying to go through the utility. Obviously not going to go down without a fight, but he can't make it happen. Besiktas finding a double nade, one against Vascu and T-Bone. Gemty is the only one standing. And Besiktas, well, they're looking a little bit more deadly than I expected. And you can see a bit of a wide split from the two. Carl and one of the other players is about to try and probably join up with their other teammate who's currently trying to deal with maybe someone Liquid in this 2-2 split. Rupture's still alive as the snake here. Na'Vi still on the edge of the town. And once they have to leave that town, you know it's going to get a little bit dicey, a little bit tricky. Redline fragging out this game as well. They've been pretty brutal to everyone else in the lobby. You've got Squeaky down the low ground, Tixu as well. And now can Omicron survive this? GMT and T-Bone, this might be the last stand for them, trying to get some fire down, but it's not going to work out. Michael's going to find GMT. And honestly, I've been liking how Redline play this. You know, whether or not they, you know, they're not the ones to be looking at for the table. Sure, they're sitting pretty comfy in 7th. But they've been playing a nice game. I'm happy to see Michael back at this sort of point. And look at this crunch towards Ents. Right in the middle of two teams now. Redline trying to make it in, but Red Zone up from the low ground. Squeaky and Tixu are none the wiser, and they're going to be aware pretty soon. Pretty sure a shot just came out. Macadog's going to commit to this. That's a little bit risky. And look who's from above. It's Ivers, the SLR, so perfectly positioned. You're not going to get away from it.
Red spells danger, and that's exactly what could be happening for Ents. Just squashed between two teams in Death Valley at the moment. Smokes will be committed, but this will just make more noise for Redline to get an eye line on. Michael is lurking, he's peeking, gets the opportunity. Good molly, actually. Just kind of pushes him back. I like that. Straight on the edge, on the lip of the rocks. Hits the deck for Ivers to try and avoid gunfire, which he does, but not from Mome. Red Zone sees him, and that's because of the angle of approach that he did take towards that fight. Liquid's the only one with a circle, ironically.
Wow.
Now K-Mind and Ibiza could regroup while everyone else, because they're only players that are in the north. That could be an open shot run towards the middle of the circle if they go now. Na'Vi has been quiet. Let's not take our minds away from that. They are being cautious. They're playing safe. Mome. Good actual shot from, good molly. Probably a preemptive one rather than a line of sight one from Tixu. Or Squeaky, should I say. Michael at least solidifies the kill, so even though it's not a point to Ents, it does remove one enemy. Atomical. What more can you do? You're the last man standing. Your team's been picked apart from two different rosters, K-Mine. Good shot from Michael. Nice little angle there. Takes his face off. How do they have someone to actually commit to the res? Potentially Ibiza. He was with him previously when we checked in. Ivers, still time to go. Good hold from Squeaky, but there is a response. Tick2 will fall. Now it comes down to Squeaky to basically just kind of keep Ents' dreams alive in this game. If not, just survive. Make it as far up into that top 6 as you possibly can. Na'Vi. We forgot about them. It's time for them to get involved. Ivers, instant knock. And now goes Senya. That's a little bit unfortunate. Good spin from Atomical. Doesn't actually find anything. The blue will commit him. That's because of the damage done. Finally, the dead body from Ents is found, and they are terminated. They go down in 5th position. Okay, so Liquid have just decided it's time to open it up onto Na'Vi to try and make something happen on this one. Michael bows out to the blue as touched. Na'Vi versus Liquid. Who else we got kind of alive and kicking within this?
Besiktas. Here we go. They're going to have to make a
so far.
time pretty soon. Yeah, they have. Let's see what Besiktas can do. 2 kills only beside them. Not ideal. And Liquid in pretty fine form here. Looking a little deadly for my taste. Jeems. Alive late game. It's a terrifying prospect. And Na'Vi going to certainly feel the force of Ibby being standing. There's not much cover. But actually, K-Mine falling is going to alleviate all that pressure. Quick trade comes back in. And Jeems. He's got the belt back out, boys. Here we go. It's down to the final 2. Na'Vi, but only with 2 players against Liquid, with potentially 4 if they get that other player back on their feet. This could be a harsh ending for Na'Vi. 4 kills, it's not bad, but also placement points are big here. This is what they're looking for. They're looking for end game approach, and they've been denied at least one step towards it. Tab's gone down. It looks like Kemba is soon to follow. Tagged up, put down, Liquid with the win, but Na'Vi making it late game. But what a good win from Liquid there. A good amount of kills. You know, 10 plus kills, staying as a pack late game. I mean, Liquid fans are shook around the world. They saw 4 of their players alive at the end of a game.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shot. I pray my dick get big as the Apple Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud 9, and this 9 is never on vacation. Start up that Maserati.